When is the best time to have a difficult conversation? I'm Jayson Krause. I'm the managing director at Level 52, and this is a frequent question we get asked from participants in our accelerated leadership programs or executive coaching programs. And I'm going to start with a proverb that you might have heard before that states the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. And this relates to difficult conversations as well. You see, difficult conversations are not only inevitable in business, but they're necessary. And leaders who really work intentionally do a good job in generating creative tension through things like difficult conversations, and they see it as a tool to unlock meaningful results. Most people will wait for things to happen before they have a difficult conversation. And that's the second best time to have a difficult conversation is when you see something, it happens, you respond with a difficult conversation to course correct and reset expectations. But the best time to do it is before the difficult conversation even needs to happen. It's an exercise in extreme intentionality. Difficult conversations that you have early on are way easier than the difficult conversations you have to have because of the compounding effect of irritations and incidents that then spur you into action. Well, you can either do things before they're an issue, or you can react and scramble to clean things up. And they're way more difficult when you have to do that. So think about this. The best time to have a difficult discussion is before it even needs to happen. If you're like me, you've had some really challenging experiences, things people have done, situations that have occurred. And if you've done your job, reflected on them, and learned from them, then you can use that experience in engaging in a difficult discussion before it's even necessary. If you and I work together and we're onboarding for the first time, I might pull up situations that have occurred in the past that have disappointed me, have led to a disaster or tragedy inside the business. And it's very helpful for me to frame those so you and I can engage in dialogue around what we need to do to make sure those things don't happen. And the more we make it difficult right now to ensure that we're aligned and we see things the same way, it's never going to be as difficult as the one that has to happen. One of my favorite quotes is by Russian playwright Anton Chekhov, where he says, "A gun that shows up in the first act of a play will undoubtedly be fired in the third act." So think about it in the context of what we are exploring right now. Metaphorical guns show up all the time and we don't address them. And they will get fired and lead to disaster or tragedy down the line inside the business. Well, let's address them before we even see them in the space. Let's remove those metaphorical guns in the workplace so that we don't have to deal with them down the line. And so your job is to think about those things before the curtain rises so that in the first act of your relationship or your project at work, you're not waiting to see when this gun's going to fire down the line. This is the question this month. I hope you're back in November when we explore more questions that leaders are asking. I'm Jayson Krause. Thanks for watching.